Oh, bumpy, bumpy. Whoa! There's the intro bit. Hey YouTube, how are we doing? Hope everyone is doing safe and well. Let's just pull that closed a bit as it's a little bit windy. Back out on the old Lexmoto Titan as my bike's still in the shop. It's been a week now since my my crash. I've just realised as I started talking, I'm a little bit concerned that you might not be able to hear me properly because of the scarf that I'm wearing. It's a little bit, no, well, not thicker, but it's a different material that I'd normally use. So let's lower that a bit. There we go. That'll probably be better for you. Hope the beginning wasn't too bad and the wind isn't affecting it too much. So yeah, back out on the Lexmoto. Thank you if this is the first time you've stumbled across my videos on the internet. I suppose at the moment with me putting, I think I put the Lexmoto Titan in the intro, in the name of the last video, and I think that got a few people over for the first time if they're searching for Lexmoto Titan videos or whatever. So yeah, so if you are new here, thank you very much for stumbling across the videos. I hope you like what you see. Normally I ride around on a Yamaha Tri-City, which is a three-wheeled abomination as it's been called, but check back through the old videos for that, and if you do stick around you'll see it again when it's back up on the road. But yeah, if you've been here before though, and you're coming back again, you guys, massive appreciation for you guys. I'm really happy that people, like the videos and come back to watch them. So right, what's happening? So yeah, I'm back. It's been a week since my crash. I'm back out on the Yamaha. Not on the Yamaha, on the Lexmoto Titan. Going back to the gym. So I haven't been to the gym since my crash. And that's what, funny enough, that's where I was going when I had it. I'm avoiding the hill where I had my crash because the roads around on the way to that gym and are a bit naff, to be fair, and it's not the most secure of areas. So whereas my bike is probably less prone to being stolen, I think the Titan here is probably more likely to be stolen because it's quite a popular bike. I think it's actually one of the most popular bikes in the UK at the moment, being that they're around the £1,200 mark, brand new. But yeah, so they are more, and to be fair, without being negative to both the bike, they are quite a cheap and cheerful bike. So if you wanted to pick up a bike, you got more chance of grabbing this than you have of grabbing my Tri-City. My Tri-City's a big old heavy ugly bastard, whereas this just looks like any two-wheel scooter. So if you're nicking for parts or just for ease, I reckon I could snap the steering lock off one of these quite easily myself. So yeah, these are the sort of things that people are going to steal to go out and get up to no good on, really. Whereas with my bike being a bright blue three-wheeled thing, it's quite noticeable, if you know what I mean, and it doesn't look nippy. So if you're going to nick a bike, you want to nick something that's quite nippy or whatever. So yeah, I'm going to the gym that I use in the city, which is more secure than rather leaving this out or whatever. So yeah, it's enough waffling about that. But yeah, what's been happening really? Not much. I thought I might share a few thoughts on the old Titan. I've ridden it before a few times. I'll be honest, when I have ridden it, I haven't really enjoyed it that much. It's a bit light compared to the everything feels so different considering they're both 125s. But I'll go through my impressions. So I've ridden my Tri-Cities now for a year and just over a year and a bit, almost a year, coming up to 18 months now, really. This bike's about a year old, I think now. But yeah, my thoughts. So obviously I've got a Tri-City, which is a £4,000 bike. This is a £1,000 bike, basically. You can pick one of these up for £1,200 on the road, brand new. You do see them going second hand for considerably cheaper, for about, I've seen them for as low as £400, £500, £600. So if you are looking for a little quick commuter, I can definitely see the attraction. And they're not terrible to ride. Like I did my CBT on a Telelai. I did a CBT on a 50cc Lexmoto, and it wasn't bad, apart from the fact that like you're going 30 miles an hour everywhere. It's not the greatest of feelings. Come on, I want to go there as well. You know, but yeah, there's a considerable difference between this bike and my bike, which you'd expect being a £4,000, you know, a £3,000 price difference. Well, maybe a £2,500 when you factor in everything. I think on the road you can get a Tri-City for about 3,700, 3,800. So my experience with this is it's lighter, a lot lighter than the Tri-City, which is to be expected. The Tri-City is a heavy old bike, and it does. On the Tri-City, I know it's got two wheels and it's still a bike that falls over, even though the misconception is that it keeps itself upright. It doesn't. It does definitely feel a lot more stable, so I do feel quite wobbly on this, especially going into corners and the like. And with this, the amount of plastic on it is quite telling. Like, it feels plastic, if you know what I mean. I don't know if you, when you were a kid, you know, you used to buy toy cars when this is me showing my age now, being a nearly 40-year-old man. But then you had toy cars, and every so often you get the die cast ones that were completely metal apart from the tyres and apart from the wheels, really. And you know, they had a weight to them, they felt great, you know, you play with them. And then your mum or your nan or somebody would come out and buy you some more cars or whatever, and they'd be like, oh, I've got you some more cars. And they'd be like, so the body would be metal, but the underneath of it would be plastic, the wheels would be plastic, and it just felt a little bit hollow. Well, that's what this is. This bike feels, to me, hollow. And it's not a bad thing, it's just because I'm used to something heavier, with a bit more firm and grip to it. You know, the brakes feel a lot looser. Like when I pull the brake levers on my Tri-City, I feel a reaction straight away. This has got a bit more of a delay. Accelerator is exactly the same. So the bite mark on my Tri-City, I think they call it the bite mark, and Jesus Christ, it's a bumpy road. You can probably see from my helmet, like I come up this road quite a lot, and I think I've been up it here on a vlog. Yeah, it definitely, it's going faster than you think actually sometimes. But yeah, the bite mark, I think it is the point where you accelerate when you pull the throttle back, is a lot looser. So generally with my Tri-City, as soon as my fingers are on it, I can literally accelerate with one finger, because I can just drag it back and it goes. And it eases in quite slowly to start with. This, there's like a dead zone, I think, at first, but then once you're up and running, there's actually quite a kick to it in the right conditions. So like this is going down a hill on a bumpy road, it seems to get up to 30-40 miles an hour. I think it actually accelerates a little bit quicker if you're prepared to push it. It's probably because it's lighter as well, a lighter bike, you know. So yeah, it does feel like it's got a little bit in there. It's very rattly, but I think again that's just because of the amount of plastic on it. It's obviously less sturdy because it is less solid in places. But you know, I don't see why. I generally think if I'd have bought one of these instead of my Tri-City, I don't think I'd be unhappy with it, because obviously I wouldn't know any different. It's not horrible to ride. Like I could, you know, on times when I've ridden it before, it does feel a bit weird. But to be fair, I'm actually quite enjoying it right now. It's got a bit of a nip. I am wary of uneven roads like this. This one's quite uneven in places. There's a massive pothole on this road that I definitely don't want to hit. But yeah, my major concern if I owned this bike would be the security of it. I really wouldn't like leaving this outside shops, because you do feel like it would be quite easy to pick up. I know it's not going to be the case because it is heavier than you think, but it's probably the weight distribution, because I don't know if I've ever been over it before, but on the Tri-City there's a point in about the middle of the bike where the weight distribution is 50-50. So the weight at the front of the bike and the weight of the rear bike from a certain point is a 50-50 split, and that point is in the footboard, I think, just about where my feet go. I don't think that's the case with this, because you can definitely tell the weight's at the back. As weird as that sounds, you definitely feel like you're dragging things a bit. It's very light at the front though. But yeah, not a bad bike. I think if I was 17-18 years old looking for my first bike, or just looking for something to nip to the shops on, you know, nip to the shops, nip to the gym, get to the office and back, this would be a good buy, to be fair. 1200 quid. And even if you bought one second hand, if you get a bike for what, 400, 500, 600 quid and get a year out of it, I don't see how you could be unhappy with that. Yeah, I say, when I've ridden it before, it's felt a bit flimsy, and I think that's because I've literally usually just got off the Tri-City or what have you. But this time, obviously, you know, I haven't ridden my Tri-City for a week since the crash. I haven't really been in a condition to get on a bike, so yeah, no, it's all right. I like it. Would I swap my Tri-City for one? Obviously not, because obviously my Tri-City is a big boy. Not a big boy bike, but you know, it's my Tri-City. I love my Tri-City. It's a fantastic bike to ride, no matter how much grief it gets for the way it looks and whatever. It's definitely an upgrade to this, but then in the same way, this isn't necessarily a downgrade. That's stupid language, isn't it? But riding this is no worse if for riding and doing your everyday things on it, but because I've got the Tri-City, I wouldn't sell it and think, oh, I'll sell it, buy one of these and keep £1,200, if that makes more sense, you know. But if for example my Tri-City is in the garage now after the crash, if for example they said to me, okay, we're going to write your Tri-City off and we're going to get, you know the insurance is like, they're not going to give me enough money to go and buy a brand new Tri-City, I expect, if that was the case. And if that did happen, would I possibly look at getting one of these? Because I imagine they'd give me more than £1,200 for my bike. Possibly yes. I think I'd strongly consider it. Or at very least, the only thing I'll say about this with the Titan is, so Lexmoto do a number of scooters. They do a Diablo, a Titan and a Chieftain, and the Chieftain is bigger. It's a they're all 125s. The Diablo is quite small. It's more akin to a 50cc. But the Chieftain is a bigger bike, you know, like my Tri-City is a bigger bike than this. So I think if the worst case scenario came and my Tri-City was, you know, unusable and I had to, you know, take the insurance money and go and buy a new bike or anything like that, I think I'd probably I'd seriously consider a Chieftain. You know, if it's the big brother to this, you know, it's the same bike from what I understand, it's just got a little bit more frame to it and stuff, because obviously this doesn't have the shield. Things I don't like about the bike, really quickly though, is I don't like the dials. I don't like it. The dials are in kilometres and the miles are in the middle, and the miles are really small. Yeah, it's got a rev meter. I don't have a rev meter on my Tri-City. I don't need one, you know. I've never really, I don't ride, you know, I ride an automatic scooter. Revs really aren't a concern, because that's more for your gears as well. I'm probably wrong, but I don't need one on my Tri-City because there isn't one. Yeah, the knobs and stuff all do feel very, very flimsy. I generally feel like I'm snapping the indicator every time I press it. But yeah, I don't like these dials. I like I've got a digital dial on mine, and I much prefer that. So I think I think the Chieftain does have a digital dial, so that would have to be something I'd have to consider as well. But yeah, I'm hoping it doesn't come to that, so that won't be a problem. But yeah, that's it. I'm gonna park up and go to the gym now. And so yeah, thanks for watching. Hit me up on the socials, please, if you've got anything you'd like to say, anything you want to know about the old Titan, or anything you want to know about the Tri-City, I suppose. If you still got questions about that, if you're new here. come and hit me up with them. And until then, stay safe, and I'll see you in the next one.